just want us to remember the very first, almost the very first victims of the regime on November 11th, 1994, the beginning of the atrocities that we have been asked to look into. On November 11th, they weren't the only victims. There were victims that followed during the 22 years of brutal dictatorship in the Gambia. We should remember them in our prayers and remember, resolve not to have this kind of thing repeated in our country again. I would ask our religious leaders to just offer prayers to the November 11 victims and all the victims of the 22-year dictatorship in the country. Imam, you have the floor. Please, go ahead. No. Yeah, I briefed him already. Thank you very much indeed. Bishop, you have the floor, please.
Thank you, Chairman. Lord God of mercy and of grace and of compassion, Lord God of all creation, you who create all humankind in your image and in your likeness. We continue to remember the victims of 11 November 1994, all those who have been mercilessly murdered in this land of the Gambia. We continue to ask that you receive their souls, and we continue to pray for members of their families that were left behind, their mothers, their fathers, their wives, their children, and their siblings, and all who were connected to them. That, good Lord, that you will grant these family members who are hurting, that you will grant them comfort, and Lord, that you will make the necessary provision for them to be able to live the life that you have ordered for them to live. And we continue to ask that you grant those who have gone before eternal rest. This we ask through Christ our Lord. Amen.
Amen. Thank you very much indeed. Council, are we ready to continue our proceedings, and is the next witness ready?
Yes,
If
Mr.
so,
Chairman.
please proceed.
I, Ken Mendy, do swear that I'll speak the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. So help me God.
Good afternoon, Mr. Chairman. Good afternoon, Commissioners. Good afternoon, all, and good afternoon to you, Mr. Witness. As you already know, my name is Mariama Singate, and I'll be leading you on behalf of the Commission this afternoon. I just want us to go over a few rules that will help ease your testimony today. When you're speaking, I'll want you to speak into the mic so that we can hear you clearly. And do assume a comfortable sitting position. If possible, just push your chair in and lean back.
Oh, it's okay like this, ma'am.
Thank you very much. And wait for 3 seconds when I ask my questions before you respond, just to avoid our speeches overlapping, and I will do the same as well. If I ask a question that you do not understand, do seek for clarification and I will explain my question or rephrase it. As you have already volunteered to come before the TRRC, I just wish to inform you that you are obliged to speak the truth and nothing but the truth. And you are required to tell the entire truth of what you witness. Do you understand?
Yes, ma.
For today, we are briefly going to discuss your background so that the commission will know who you are. And then we'll discuss your career progression. And then we'll move on to the witch hunting incident of 2009 at the police headquarters and all that you witnessed that day. We'll also deal with information that you must have heard while working at the police headquarters with respect to the incident that spread across the country. Do you understand?
Yes, ma.
If you're okay, we can start now.
I'm okay, we can start, ma.
Thank you. Can you please tell us your names?
My name is Mendy. I was born...
Mr. Mendy?
Yes.
Just wait for my questions.
Okay, thank you.
Then you can answer them.
All right.
When and where were you born?
I was born on the 11th February 1972 at Mboletba Village, Lower Nyomi District, North Bank Region.
Can you briefly tell us about your educational background, starting from your primary to your secondary school? If you can recall the dates, you can provide it.
1982 to 1988, Mboletba Primary School. Then from 1988 September to 1992, Berending Senior Secondary School. Then in 2004, I did my certificate in management at IPAM, International Professional Administration and Management.
And after IPAM, what did you do?
After IPAM, I continue working because the time I was doing this course at IPAM, by then I was still serving the Gambia Police Force.
If I may, let's just move back to when you completed your senior secondary education, and that is in 1992, correct?
Yes.
So after your senior secondary education, what did you do?
After my secondary senior education, then on the 15th of November 1993, I joined the Gambia Police Force as a recruit.
After joining the police force as a recruit, where were you posted?
The initial training took us for 5 months. Then after passing out from the training, I was posted to Banjul Police Station under relief. That was around 1994, May to 1996.
Can you explain what you mean by you were posted under relief?
What I mean by posted under relief, we do relief duties, morning, afternoon, night, and we change each order. You will come for morning duties from 8 to 4 o'clock, you close, then the afternoon duties will come from 4 o'clock to 12 midnight. Then night duties will come from 12 midnight to 8 o'clock.
That was from 1994 to 2006, correct?
No, to 1994 to 1996.
1994 to 1996?
Yes.
After that, where were you posted?
Then in 1997, I was posted to the registry office at the police headquarters.
And what was your role at the registry office?
At the registry office, 1997 to 2000, I was there as a record clerk.
At any point, did your rank change?
Yes, my rank changed in 2000. In 2000, I was promoted to a couple.
After 2000, where were you posted?
Then 2001 to 2010, I was posted at the same office as in charge.
Can you please explain what in charge means?
I was the man in charge of the registry. I can say the overall, because in the security, the overall is the one who is in charge.
And what was your role at the registry?
At the registry office, we are responsible of incoming correspondence addressed to the office of the Inspector General of Police.
During that time, did you remain as a corporal or did your rank change?
In 2000, then 2002, I was promoted to sergeant.
From sergeant, what was your next rank?
From sergeant, I was promoted to inspector.
And when were you promoted to inspector?
I was promoted to inspector, that was in 2004.
After the rank of an inspector, which other rank were you promoted to?
I was promoted to assistant superintendent of police in 2006.
After that, what other rank were you promoted to?
Then in 2008, I was promoted to superintendent.
And thereafter, were you promoted again?
Yes, ma'am.
Can you please tell us the rank?
In 2010, I was promoted to chief superintendent.
From chief superintendent, were you promoted to another rank?
In 2015, I was promoted to assistant commissioner.
And which district were you assigned to as a commissioner?
I was in Mansa Konko LRR as assistant commissioner.
Thereafter, what was your next postings or promotion?
Then from there, November 2017 to March 2018, I was redeployed back to the police headquarters as assistant to Commissioner of Operation.
And is that the position you hold till date?
No, ma. In March 2018, to date, I am posted at West Coast Region as Deputy to the Regional Police Commissioner.
Thank you very much for that chronology. Can we go back to the year 2009? As at that time, you were already a superintendent, correct?
Yes, ma.
And you were in charge of the registry, correct?
Yes, ma.
Can you tell us your daily activities at the registry? Let's say from morning when you start.
My daily activities at the registry is we receive all correspondence addressed to the Office of the Inspector General of Police, send it to the Office of the IGP. After IGP minuting the correspondence, then we send them to action officers within the police headquarters.
As a personnel of the registry, do you usually attend early morning parades?
Well, my other staff do attend, but me, I don't do attend morning parade, because in the morning when I come to the office, I normally prepared some certain correspondence that are very urgent to take it to the Office of the Inspector General of Police.
So as a result of your work, you were exempted from the early morning parade, correct?
Yes, ma.
Can you please tell us, while you were working at the registry office back in 2000, whether a specific incident occurred at the police headquarters? In 2009, sorry.
No, in 2000.
2009, my apologies.
Okay. In 2009, at the police headquarters, between the hours of 8:30 to 10 o'clock, whilst I was in my office, the then Inspector General of Police, El Sabaji, called me to his office without knowing exactly what is going on. Upon my arrival at the office of the Inspector General of Police, to my surprise, I found 4 to 5 men who dress in our big traditional trouser called chaya. Some were having drums. Some were having a form of a plate with mirrors and surrounded with red cloth, and a horn surrounded with pieces of red cloth.
When you entered the office of the IG, apart from the men, who else was in that office? The men that you described.
At this moment, my memory, if my memory can serve me, the only one I can remember was Commissioner Edu Sambu was present in IG's office.
These persons that you described, was it strange for you to see them at the IGP's office?
Of course, ma, it was strange for me to see them in IG's office.
And why was that?
Because this has never happened at the police headquarters.
Apart from the horn and the mirror plate you mentioned, was anything about them that stood out?
Repeat your question, ma.
Apart from the horn that you described and the mirror plate that you described, was there anything that stood out about them?
No, I cannot.
For example, what were they, the color of the material they were wearing?
Okay, they were wearing red trouser. Some of them even don't put on shirt.
You've told us that they carried a mirror plate with them,
Yes.
a horn, and they were wearing red trousers. Apart from those things, was there anything else that they had with them?
Yeah, I think they were having a small calabash. a small calabash.
And when you entered the IG's office, did the IGP tell you anything?
No, ma, IG did not tell me nothing.
Can you tell us what happened when you entered the office?
Immediately when I entered the IG's office, the one who was having that small thing in a form of a plate pointed it to me and looking direct to the mirror, then asked me to come towards him. Then he was going back, then I was walking towards him. Then we rounded within the office of the Inspector General of Police, and nothing was found with me. Then later one of them told IG that this guy is a good man.
According to you, you said nothing was found with you. How did you know that they were looking for something with you?
Well, immediately they started going around within the offices, doing their magic issue. I know that I suspected they were searching for something.
And at the point when you entered and they motioned for you to follow them, did the IGP do or say anything?
No, at that moment IG did not say nothing.
Apart from the IGP and the foreman, you mentioned 4, correct?
4 or 5, almost around 4 or 5.
Apart from the IGP and the men that were there, was there any other officer that was in the IGP's office?
Ma, I could not remember that. The only person I can remember was Commissioner Edusambu.
So, Commissioner Edusambu was in the IGP's office that day?
Yes, ma'am.
And do you know why you were specifically called to the IG's office?
You know, that office serves as secretary to the Inspector General of Police. So at times, whenever he needs something, then he will call one of the officers within that office.
So when the men told the IG that you were okay, what happened?
Then IG led them to my office. I and IG, together with these people, we came to my office. Then they did the same in the office.
Before you were led to your office, did the IGP tell you anything?
No, at that particular moment, even I don't know exactly what's happened, what is going on, until when he came to my office. Then when he did that, nothing was found. Then that's the time when he instructed me to follow him. That's the time he told me that anybody they pointed at, you take his name.
When did the IGP give you that instruction?
When they were from my office and he was leading them to other offices.
So let's start with your office first. What happened when they entered your office?
When they entered my office, they did the same as IG's office, searching, and later one of my secretary by the name Fatugay, these witch hunters say there is sickness on her.
At this point, did you know that they were witch hunters?
At that stage, until when we were about to move from my office to other offices, when IG say, whosoever they pointed us a witch, then you take his name.
So at your office, it was only your secretary they pointed at and told her that she has a sickness in her, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And when they were moving from your office, you told us that that was when IGP gave you the instruction that whosoever they pointed at, you should write down their names, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
At this point, Did you know the mission of those people?
Well, when immediately IG told me that whosoever they pointed, whosoever they alleged to be a witch, then you take note. Then that's the time I know that these people are witch hunters.
Can we get the instruction clear? What exactly did the IGP tell you? Is it that whosoever is pointed at, you get their names, or whosoever is alleged as a witch, you get their names? Because that's what you just said.
It's whosoever they allege, because when they point you, they will allege you to be a witch.
So that's what the IGP said.
Yes.
Whosoever they alleged as a witch, you should get down their names.
Yes, ma'am.
What happened after this instruction was given?
Then he asked me to follow him. Then he led them to some of these offices, and the first office I can remember we entered was the personal's office.
What happened at the personal's office?
Immediately when we entered personal's office, they start beating their drums, chanting and dancing. Then from there, they pointed Yaya Dabo, now Chief Superintendent of Police, and alleged him to be a witchcraft.
We want to get a clear picture as how this identification or pointing was done. Can you please help us get a picture? Just describe immediately when they entered the office what they did and what they said.
Okay, ma. When they entered the office, they were beating their drums, then using that form of a plate with mirrors, looking within the office. Then from there, then they will just point somebody, allege him to be a witchcraft.
At the point when they pointed at Yaya Dabo and alleged that he was a witch, what was Yaya Dabo's reaction to that?
No, at that moment, Yaya Dabo did not react.
At that stage, where was the IGP?
The IGP was there in Yaya Dabo's office.
And what was IGP doing at that time?
No, at that moment, IGP was the one who is leading these people from office to office. So at that juncture, unless and until when they point somebody, he give me the instructions, take his name.
In what language were these men communicating?
Well, what I can understand, some of them were communicating in Fula, but there is somebody there who can speak Mandinka, who normally translate these things to the Inspector General of Police.
And when they pointed at Yaya and alleged him to be a witch, in what language did they point? Did they speak?
They were speaking in Fula, but somebody was translating it in Mandinka.
After pointing him out as a witch, what happened?
Then when IG gave me the instructions to get his name down, then I get his name, then we proceeded to other offices.
Was Yaya left at the office where they met him?
Yaya might be he may join us going around within the offices.
Apart from the IGP and yourself, who else, and the men that you said were the witch hunters, who else was part of that entourage?
Well, at this moment, I cannot remember exactly those who were part of the, but I think Commissioner Sambu was part of the entourage.
When they moved from the operations office, Which other office?
From personal's office.
Personal, sorry. Which other office did they go to?
We went upstairs to the IT unit. And they say when they entered the IT unit, they are beating their drums, dancing, using their that plate for their magic. Then later, Mustafa Sise, who was posted at the IT unit, was pointed out, and Yusufa Sen.
Can you please tell us how they were pointed out?
They'll be beating the drums, chanting, and when they point you with their horn that is covered with red pieces of cloth.
We had evidence earlier this morning, and also, which went on to the afternoon, that they were singing as well while performing this exercise. Can you please confirm that?
Yes, that's why I said they were chanting. So actually, what they were singing, I don't know, but definitely they were chanting.
Do you know, apart from knowing the language these witch hunters were speaking, which you said was Fula, do you know where they were from?
No, ma, I don't know where they are from.
At the time when they pointed at these two individuals in the IT room, what happened?
Then we proceeded to the office of the advisor, who is now late, Farai Jame.
The police headquarters, I just want to get the structure of the police headquarters. You said your office was close to the IGP's office.
Yes, my office is at the second floor.
That would be the second floor.
Yes, ma'am.
And the places where you said you went to, was it still at the second floor?
Personnel is at the second floor, but the IT unit is at the third floor.
So from the second floor, you moved to the third floor?
Yes, ma'am.
That is where the IT room is?
The IT room is, ma'am.
And after the IT room, you went to?
The police advisor.
And where is the police advisor's office?
Immediately after the IT unit.
Can you tell us how the offices were selected, the offices that you will go to? Did you go to every single office, or did you pick out?
At this moment, I think almost all offices within the headquarters, IGP led them to all these offices within the headquarters. But these are the offices that I can remember certain people were identified.
You mentioned FRI Jame.
Yes, ma'am.
Can you please tell us what happened to him?
FRI Jame's name was also taken down.
And is it the same identification process that was done before his name was taken down?
Yes, ma'am, it's the same.
After FRI's office, which other office did the witch hunters go to?
Then we came down to Superintendent Kumba Jata's office.
What happened when you got to Kumba Jata's office?
The same, when we entered Kumba Jata's office, they start beating these drums, chanting, using their magic things. And later, Kumba was having some jams in his pocket, and he tied some in his waist. And he was instructed by these witch hunters to remove it.
Can you please tell us where and what parts of Kumba's body were the charms?
You have jams in the pocket and the waist.
In order for them to remove the charms, can you please tell us what happened?
No, before they removed these jams in the office, later we proceeded to the parade ground.
The removal of the charms, did it take place at Kumba Jata's office or somewhere else?
No, the removal of the jams was taking place at the parade ground.
Where was Kumba Jata identified? Was it at his office or at the parade ground?
No, he was identified at his office, but the jams were removed at the parade ground.
At his office, can you tell us what they said to him or what they did?
The same as the same, they were beating their drums, chanting, then later they just pointed their horns to him. That is a witchcraft.
Already you've moved to several offices at the police headquarters, and the witch hunters have identified several individuals to be alleged witches. So what happened to all those people that were identified? You mentioned Yaya Davo.
Yes, ma'am.
You mentioned Mustafa Sise.
Yes, ma'am.
You mentioned Yusuf Hussain. You mentioned FRI Jame.
Yes, ma'am.
And you mentioned Kumba Jata.
Yes, ma'am.
Apart from these individuals, was there anyone else that was pointed at and alleged to be a witch?
Commissioner Parsilva.
And where was Commissioner Parsilva when he was identified by these so-called witch hunters?
Commissioner Parsilva, if my memory can serve me well, is at the Banjul police station.
My question actually is, where was he when he was identified? In which office was he in?
That's what I'm saying. I say he was at Banjul police station.
The police station and the headquarters, is it within the same premises or is it separated?
No, it's within the same premises.
Where is the police station located in the premises?
The police, when you are entering the main headquarters, the Banjul police station will be on your right hand side.
So it was when you already moved down?
You know, when you are going to the parade ground, you use that door, that station door, the back door of the station to the parade ground.
So already you had moved down to ground zero at the police station. That is where Pa Silva was allegedly identified as a witch, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
So what happened after they identified Pa Silva?
Then after identifying as Pa Silva, then the Inspector General of Police gave instructions that all personnel to be paraded at the police headquarters parade ground.
And how long did it take for all the personnel to be paraded at the ground?
That will take around 25 to 30 minutes.
In between the 25 to 30 minutes, what happened to those individuals that were already identified by these witch hunters?
Because those people were part of those going around, so they were asked to follow us to the parade ground by the Inspector General of Police.
Apart from these 5 individuals who you already mentioned that were the witch hunters, was there any other group of individuals at the police headquarters?
I cannot remember. There might be there'll be some within, but for me, I was just focusing on these people. When IG gave me instructions to take note, I take note. These other people can be there without my notice.
When these individuals were being identified and pointed out as witches, did you see any armed officers around?
Ma, I cannot remember seeing armed officers around.
We received evidence this morning that there were people wearing green at the police station on that particular day. What do you have to say about that?
Ma, it could be true. Might be they were within around, but for me, I don't see them.
So when the men were assembled as ordered by the IGP, can you tell us what happened?
Still at the parade ground, these witch hunters continue searching for witchcraft at the parade ground.
And how did this search continue?
They'll be beating their drums, chanting, dancing, then pointing that plate to people.
At this point, what was the mood of the police officers towards this so-called witch hunters?
So, because the mood was so bad, because this has never happened, and it takes us by surprise.
Did anyone do or say something with respect to the process that was going on?
The only one I can remember, after identifying them, then the Inspector General of Police gave an order. No, after the identification, when we paraded at the police headquarters parade ground, these witch hunters were having a cock. And this cock was slaughtered. There is a palm tree just opposite the licensing office. And when this cock was slaughtered there, then almost all people who are paraded at the headquarters were lined up. You go there, then this is your allegiance to the president.
Can you please tell us step by step how this process was done and who was leading the process?
Apart from these witch hunters, is the Inspector General of Police who was leading the process.
And what kind of allegiance were they swearing to the president?
Loyal to the president.
And how were they swearing their loyalty to the president?
Make a line, you go where they slaughter this hen, you said you are loyal to the president.
Which individuals were asked to swear their loyalty to the president?
I think this senior cadre at the police headquarters.
And can you give us an idea of the senior cadre at the police headquarters?
Like at the rank of assistant superintendent above.
So at the parade, all the senior officers of the police were asked to swear their allegiance to the president after a sacrifice was made by the witch hunters, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Did any of the senior officers at that time say anything about the process that was going on?
No, at that moment, I don't heard from any senior officer making comment.
How about the people that were allegedly identified as witches?
The people allegedly identified as a witch, at that juncture, My mind cannot recall exactly what they were saying.
Among the senior members of the police force, did any of them refuse to swear their allegiance at the sacrificial pit?
No, ma, I cannot remember anyone who refused.
You said you were writing down the names of all those people that the witch hunters alleged of being witches. Can you tell us roughly how many people you had listed down? Apart from the names that you mentioned, I have 6 names here. Yaya Dabo, Mustafa Sise, Yusuf Hussain, F.R.I. Jame, Pa Silva, and Kumbajata.
Ma, these are the people that my memory can serve me. That's why I mentioned them. These other people, I cannot exactly remember them. That's why.
I understand if you cannot remember all the names that you had listed down, but can you please help me with an estimate of about how many people did you write down on that piece of
Might
paper?
be it's going to be 10 or more.
Was it up to 20?
No, ma, I cannot exactly estimate the number, but I think 10 above, going to be 10 above.
Will it be a little bit above 10 or just around maybe 15?
Might be a little bit above 10, little bit above 10.
When the men were assembled at the parade ground, can you please tell us, apart from the witch hunters identifying others as witches, what happened there? You've already mentioned the issue of the sacrifice.
Yes. Then from there, at the parade ground, that's the time Ensa Baji, the then Inspector General of Police, give instructions that all those people who are identified to be a witchcraft to onboard the vehicle, that they are taking them somewhere else to wash them and give them something to drink.
At the parade ground, since you were writing down the names of all those individuals that were alleged to be witches, did you have any cause to call out all of them?
No, ma.
Then how were they identified even after you had written down the names previously, but after when all the men were gathered, how were they called out?
Because the IGP said all those people who are alleged to be witchcraft to stay.
The IGP asked all of them to stay.
Yes, ma'am.
How about the rest of the people that had gathered at the parade ground?
Whosoever is not affected, they go back to their respective offices.
At this point, where were the other senior officers of the Gambia Police Force?
The other senior officers of the Gambia Police Force, after swearing an allegiance, they also go to their respective offices.
This morning we had evidence that Solo Bojang was present at the scene with some green militants. What do you have to say about that?
Ma, it could be true, but me personally, I don't see Solo Bojang because I know him in person. Hadn't been that day I saw him, I will able to remember.
After the men were asked to stay, the ones that were alleged of being witches, what did the IGP do?
IGP gave instructions for them to onboard the vehicle, that they are going to take them somewhere else to bath them and give them something to drink. Then during this process, That's this time Mustafa Sise and Yaya Dabo insist that they are not going, and whatsoever comes across them, they will take it.
And how did the IGP react to Mustafa Sise and Yaya Dabo?
And the IGP was saying, whosoever refused to go, he will dismiss you.
When the IG said whosoever refused to go will be dismissed, did they change their point of view on that?
No, these two did not change their words.
So what happened to them?
Later, I knew that Mustafa Sise was charged, and I cannot remember exactly whether he was dismissed or he wrote to discharge, but I can remember he was charged and marched before the then Inspector General of Police in Sabaji, and he was demoted. I can remember he was demoted and transferred to the provinces, but exactly where in the provinces, I cannot remember.
Thank you very much. We'll get to that later on. But in the meantime, let's just stay at that particular scene when the others were asked to board. Do you know where they were being taken?
No, exactly, ma. I don't know the place where they were taken.
Did you get to hear where they were being taken?
I think later I heard they were, is it Kololi or Kotu? Kololi or Kotu?
At the point where IGP was addressing these men, do you know if he had any interaction with the alleged witch hunters?
The only interaction is going to be between him and these two people who refuse to go.
And the others were willing to go, you said?
The other, I can remember people like Kumbajata and others, those people were willing to go.
Earlier in your evidence, let me just take you back a bit because I had forgotten that point. You mentioned that Kumbajata was identified in his office as being an alleged witch. And you also stated that his charms were taken off at the parade ground. Can you please tell us about that? Sorry for taking you back. I had forgotten that point.
Yes, ma. He was identified at the office, but the jams were taken out at the parade ground because he was putting on a shirt, and even that shirt was removed. Then he was left with the inner shirt.
Was he asked to take off his shirt, or did he willingly remove his shirt?
No, he was asked to take out the shirt by the witch hunters.
Was he happy taking off his shirt?
No, ma, it's against his will. He is not happy.
And can you tell us how that process was done?
Well, at the parade ground, they removed the jujus in the pocket, and the one he tied on his waist, then and put it, I think, in either a nylon bag, and they, if I can remember, they take it away.
And can you recall how many charms they removed from him on that day?
Ma, I cannot know the exact amount, but many jams were taken away from him.
And during this process, you've told us that he was not happy with whatever was happening. Did he react when these charms were being taken away from him?
No, at that moment he did not react, ma.
You've already told us about the countenance of Kumba Jata. Can you tell us about the countenance of other individuals when they were being asked to board the vehicle?
all those people to comply. It's only these two people I said who refuse, but these other people they comply.
My question was if you can tell us about their countenance, that is their demeanor, when they were telling them to board the vehicle.
When they are telling them to board the vehicle, they will not like it. It's not what they like, but it was an instruction passed to them by the Inspector General of Police.
And from all that you saw going on that morning, where do you think the Inspector General of Police got his orders from to allow what happened on that particular morning?
Well, Ma, I think that question is the Inspector General of Police who can answer that question, because at that particular day, me personally, I was not briefed actually what's happened and where he got these orders.
The incident that happened at the police headquarters that morning, was it a normal thing?
Ma, it was not a normal thing.
Was it something that was part of the work of the police force?
No, Ma, that is not part of the work of a police officer.
Was it something that had occurred previously at the police headquarters?
No, since I joined the Gambia Police Force, this one was the first time such happens at the police headquarters.
In your opinion, how would you view the situation that you described about senior officers asked to swear allegiance to the president?
From my point of understanding, even at that particular moment, when they do it, is against their will. At that moment, they will not feel happy, but it's what an instructions that was given to them, and I think that's why they comply.
My question exactly was, how did you view that particular scene? In your opinion, what did you make of that particular scene?
Well, what I make of might be it is a sacrifice.
And what do you understand by that?
Repeat your...
You said maybe it's sacrifice.
Yes.
So what do you understand by what you said, maybe it's sacrifice?
Because killing a cock at the police station and aligning the senior police officers to go and swear for an allegiance, that's never happened, and it's not part of our duties.
So when Yaya Dabo and Mustafa Sise refused to board the vehicle, you've already told us that was it Mustafa Sise? Sorry, I need clarification here.
Yeah, Mustafa Sise and Yaya Dabo.
You've told us that one of them was charged and marched to the IG's office.
Yes, ma'am.
How long after the incident did that occur?
I cannot give specific, but I think either a day after the incident or 2 days after the incident.
And on what charges was he marched at the IG's office for?
Well, at that moment, I don't see the charges, because when somebody is charged and marched before the Inspector General of Police, it's the responsibility of the RSMs who normally march officers who are default to officers to take action.
On that particular day when Mustafa was marched to the IG's office, were you at the office?
I could be in my office, but if the door is locked, somebody can pass and go to the office of the IGP without me being in my office to notice it.
Are you saying that you did not witness it, but you heard of it?
I heard of it. I don't witness the time they are marching him, but this is what I heard.
When he went to the IG's office and he was charged, since you are in charge of the registry and the incoming processes of the IG, did you at any point see the charge?
Well, at this moment, because when somebody is charged, there was somebody whose responsible was to take these files and keep it. Then they are the one responsible of drafting this force order.
After he was charged, do you know what punishment was meted on him?
Well, I was not present, but I heard that he was demoted.
Since you said you don't know what he was charged for, did you hear about it at least?
No, what he was charged for, I cannot remember hearing what he was charged for. But the punishment, I heard of the punishment.
Or could you tell why he was charged in the first place?
Well, that one is the decision of the Inspector General of Police. Might be he used his powers, and but Cisse was in line in whatsoever he was doing.
Do you think he was charged because he refused to comply with the orders to board the truck?
Yes, ma'am.
The list that you had written with respect to those that were allegedly charged for being witches, those were that allegedly pointed out for being witches, can you tell us what happened to that list?
Well, that list at the parade ground, it was requested by the Inspector General of Police, and I gave it to him.
Was that list filed at any point?
No, ma, it was not filed because he was requested, then I gave it to him.
Can you tell us about the people that boarded the vehicle? Do you know what happened to them?
Yeah, is it what happened to them later?
Yes.
Well, I heard they were saying that they give them something, they bath them and give them something to drink. Then later, I think the following day or 2 days after that, some of them reported back to their respective offices.
Did you see any of them that reported back to work?
Yes, ma, like Kumbajata.
Can you please tell us how you saw Kumbajata when he reported back to work?
Ma, when they took them to that either Koroli or Kotu, I heard people were saying that Kumbajata was vomiting there.
When you saw him at work after he reported back, did he appear to be in a good condition?
No, ma.
Can you please describe his state when you saw him?
Because even identifying him as a witch, only that can cause social problem on him.
So in essence, he lost his dignity.
Psychologically, ma.
Can you tell us if the others that were also alleged as witches, if they were also treated the same way?
No, ma. At that point, the others, I cannot say nothing about them, ma.
How did the officers view these men that were allegedly accused of being witches?
Repeat your question, ma.
How did the rest of the police officers view the men that were allegedly accused of being witches?
Well, they sympathize them because somebody came and alleged you to be a witch. Though at the police headquarters you will feel it at that particular moment, but you cannot do nothing.
You being a police officer and also present when this incident happened, did you believe the process that was happening that day?
But definitely, I don't believe that process.
Do you know if the other officers also bought into whatever was happening on that particular day?
Might be lead counsel.
What of, you've already told us what happened to Mustafa Sise. What of Yaya Dabo?
No, Yaya Dabo is still serving the Gambia Police Force.
Was he punished in any way for refusing to go?
No, for him, I don't hear any punishment put on him.
What of, you mentioned seeing Kumbajata. What of Pa Silva, Yusuf Hussain, and FRI Jame? Did you see them again at the headquarters?
Yes, ma.
Did they appear to be in good health when you saw them?
Ma, you see, just to look at somebody, you determine his or her health condition is going to be difficult. But I know psychologically they must have effects in them.
This witch hunting incident, what impact did it have on the police force generally?
Well, it's a big impact. It's a big impact because we are together, and you know our tradition when somebody is identified as a witchcraft. At least people may try to distance themselves from you.
Was that what happened to the people that were allegedly be identified as witches?
No, at this moment, they were coming to work, interacting with people.
Do you know where the others came from with respect to this witch hunting exercise?
No, ma, I don't know where they come from.
Did you subsequently hear about where these others came from?
No, ma, where these orders came from, I cannot tell exactly where these orders came from. As I told you, might be the Inspector General of Police will be in a better position to tell you exactly where he get these instructions. This order, sorry.
The Inspector General of Police, in a normal course of business, would he have asked for a witch hunting exercise to be conducted at the police headquarters personally?
Well, ma, as I told you, normally I don't join this morning parade. It could be, but not in my presence.
That was not my question. My question was, in a normal course of his duties as Inspector General of Police, would he have asked for witch hunting exercise to be conducted at the police headquarters?
Might be is an order that was given to him, but in his capacity as the Inspector General of Police, I don't think he will do that without order from anywhere else.
And where would this order have come from?
You know, the Inspector General of Police, they can take orders direct from the then head of state.
And the head of state would be the president, correct?
Yes, ma.
Apart from the incident that happened at the police headquarters, did you hear of any other witch hunting exercise that was conducted?
Yes, ma. I heard this witch hunting was conducted in Bara. I heard one in Jambur and even in the Fonyis.
How about other institutions? Did you hear of any witch hunting exercise taking place in other public institutions?
Well, ma, it could be, but I can only say on behalf of the police headquarters and Bara, Jambur, and in the Fonyis.
You mentioned earlier that the orders would have come from the president. And who will be the president during that time?
That time the president was Yaya Jammeh.
Apart from what you've heard from outside of the police headquarters, did you at any point receive any form of information as to the witch hunting exercise?
Ma, that's what I'm saying, that apart from the police headquarters, I heard this witch hunting in Bara, Jambur, and in the Fonyis.
And do you know or did you hear about who conducted these exercises?
It's the same, these witch hunters.
Do you know if the witch hunters were accompanied by any security force?
Not to my knowledge, ma.
Do you know if the witch hunters were accompanied by any group of individuals?
Ma, not to my knowledge, but I assume somebody must accompany them.
And do you think the witch hunters on their own would have had that access around the country?
No, ma.
In your opinion, why do you think they had so much access going around several communities seeking for people that they can allege to be witches?
Ma, might be, you know, in those days, the president can give instructions and nobody is there to challenge him.
I need your answers to be as clear as possible so as to avoid assumptions. So if you can clarify your answer, I'll be very grateful.
Okay, ma, what I'm saying is, you know, in those days, when president gives directives, there is nobody to challenge him.
in essence, are you saying that this witch hunting exercise was authorized by the president?
Well, I'm not sure whether he is the very one who gives the instructions. But what I'm trying to tell you is, if the instructions might be from him, there is nobody to challenge that instructions.
Well, thank you very much, Mr. Mendy, for answering all of my questions. Mr. Chairman, that is all from me for the witness. I'll hand over the witness to you.
Thank you very much indeed, Counsel, and thank you, Mr. Mendy, for your testimony. It's a bit shocking that it would seem as if the institutions of the state were hijacked and the country sunk into the abyss of a dark age. Nothing but witch hunting, witchcraft, brutality. You don't recognize the Gambia at all in this situation. Commissioners, if you have any questions, please indicate. Commissioner Carr, you have the floor.
Thank you, Chairman. I just have a question in relation to the oath that was taken. Do you remember the words that were said during that oath and how they were said?
We are loyal to the president.
That's all that was said?
That's all.
Okay.
Thank you. If there are no further questions, Imam, you have the floor, please.
Père, la nga def?
How are you? Ken?
Yéen daal ku ci bañoon Yaya Jammeh la rek dëmm la.
At that time, it seems as if anyone that rejected Yaya Jammeh at that time was a witch or wizard.
Ku ko nanguloon ñu bàyyi la.
Or if you accept him, you will be let go.
Imam, si suma gis-gis daal.
By my own recording,
gis-gis ni daf de ute.
The way we perceive things are different.
Sa gis-gin ak keneen gis-gisinam du benn.
It could be the way you perceive things and the way the other person.
Because su ma la waxee ne waaw ku bañoon Yaya Jammeh rek doma la den ki ko bugga ñu bàyyi la den nekkuma di la wax li am exactly.
If I should tell you that anyone that accepted Yaya Jammeh was let go and anyone that challenged him or would not accept him was made to be a witch, I would not be telling you the whole truth.
Fine. Thank you very much indeed. If you have any closing remarks, please proceed to make them now.
Thank you, Chairman, and Commission members, with other TRRC members. I take this opportunity to thank you to give me the opportunity to come and testify in this August gathering. As the slogan is, never again. And I want to put this to the entire Gambians. Whosoever is a victim or a witness, please try and come and testify before this TRRC. Because before this TRRC, many unusual things were happening in this country, and people don't know about it. But this TRRC made people to know exactly what was happening. And we have to change our attitude. Attitudinal change is very important. And we respect the rule of law. And I urge my fellow officers, whatsoever we are to carry out, let it be within our mandate. So on that note, I take this opportunity once more again to thank the chairman and members of the TRRC, and I thank you all once more again.
Thank you very much indeed, Mr. Mendy, for coming to testify before the Commission. We don't have any more issues to deal with. We will resume our proceedings tomorrow morning at 10 o'clock sharp. Meeting is adjourned. Thank you all.